Hello everyone! Today for the subject video I finished this lovely sweater. I have recorded a video how I did calculations because this is a Flax Light sweater pattern that I took, which is written for fingering weight yarn, and I used a DK weight yarn. So if you're interested how I did that, go check that video. I'm going to put it on the screen how it looks and in the corner and down below, so enjoy. In this video I'm going to tell you what kind of modifications I made, not only from perspective, and show you the yarn that I used because I haven't done that in that video. Construction of this sweater is a top-down sweater knitted in round, and I picked the size of the sweater, which is 19 inches in the bust area, and I calculated how many stitches I would need for my gauge, which I got 20 stitches by 28 rounds, I presume, and the pattern calls for 24 stitches and I think 32 rounds. Therefore I had to do those calculations, and I would tell you to go and check it out if you're interested how I did that. I got a comment under the video, and maybe you can check yourself if those stitches that I got for certain areas of the sweater matches the first size in the pattern, and I think it kind of does. I checked as far as the neckline and as far as the first kind of beginning of separation for the sleeve, not separation but just dividing stitches for sleeves and back and front. I haven't checked rest, but like I said, you can check it yourself. Lately I want to knit from my stash and used I tried to make a space in the living room for books, so I want to kind of squeeze the yarn that I have and knit as much as I can from it. Therefore I dove into my old stash and see what I can do with it, and I come up with this. Into this beautiful big bag that I received from a friend, I started putting a 50-gram balls that I have bought maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And the yarn I used is Drops Lima, and it is 70, and it's a really nice blend. I love it so much. 65% wool, 35% alpaca. It does not have any synthetic fiber over here, all natural, so I really love it, and I actually like Lima very much. When I started knitting, I wanted to buy at different colors to see which one I like the most, because photos and seeing colors in person is a completely different experience. That's why I ended up having loads of 50-gram balls. However, actually, I come up with a pattern, and my pattern Anne's Freckles hat, and I know I didn't use Lima for that. I used Nepal, but use a Drops Lima for that pattern too. Just mind your gauge or do your lovely calculations. Okay, so first things first, maybe I'm going to show you the yarn from perspective of colors, because some of you might be interested. And as you can see, I have some leftovers, and I figure out that I will have enough of this kind of shades of greens, grays, and maybe a little brown to create quite a nice sweater. So this color is 0705, as it says underneath. It's Lima Mix. Now I have some labels over here, and I'm not sure which is which. But I have the labels, and what I'll do now, I'm going to point this thing up here close, and on the screen you'll see the numbers. So colors. This brown, again maybe this green, grey, this very light green. We're going over here to a darker green, and we'll repeat that. So that's what I used, and if you see something that you like and maybe you want in a bigger quantity, you can go for it. The pattern Flax Light is written for fingering weight yarn. This is, like I said, it's DK, and it is a free pattern, so you can definitely go and check it out. It has 17 sizes, and as you could see, you can play with different weights if you want to. The pattern has, though, a garter stitch on the side of the sleeve. I didn't do it. I just went with plain vanilla basic raglan like they have. The changes that I made is that I really love double brim in the hats or in the neckline, so I did that. I followed 1 by 1 rib and then just fold it. If you don't know how to fold, I have a tutorial, so you can definitely check it out. Maybe I'll find it so on the screen in the corner, so at the end of the video maybe just press that I and you'll see all those videos there, and click there and check it out, or links down below. And the next thing what I did over here, I played with short row shaping. So what I'm talking about over here is that the neckline, as you can see, the back of it is higher than the front. The pattern doesn't have that, so basically, well, if you knit it, it will end up, I'll try to do it, it will end up this way, because the front and the back will be equal. So I did that. I did short row shaping in the back in this brown color. Right, so there are 2 things that I've changed. Actually, I also add something into the pattern, so maybe I will show you. When I was doing stripes, obviously I was adding each ball. I was doing slip stitch over here, so knitting 1, slipping 1. And if you're interested how to do that, I was showing a glimpse of my footage when I was knitting these socks, so check that video too. However, for the sleeves, I didn't do this. So you can see how big change does it make to do something like this. Quite interesting element, isn't it? And now, once I publish, I'm going to put this lovely tag on the sweater over here, and it's going to be a gift. I did tubular bind off at the end because it's 1 by 1 rib, and it's 1 by 1 rib. That's what I like to do. And I did tubular bind off for the section over here. In every knitting tutorial, when we're talking about tubular bind off, they tell you that you have to have a strand long enough, I think 3 or 4 times the length of the actual edge that you want to bind off. And it is very, very long work to do. However, on my channel you have a tutorial what happens and what you can do if somehow you have it shorter. So at this point, what I was doing, I was just getting smaller pieces and ending them, and you don't see any difference. So when you're using a tapestry needle and you have a long strand, it takes ages to go in and out, but if you have it shorter, it goes quicker. So that you can implement that into your knitting projects. And I think that's all. I hope you enjoyed this one. Subscribe, like if you want to stay for more knitting inspirations, and till the next one. Bye. And the next one is going to be a pair of socks.